Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Mesa Ridge 330 BHS. You guys have picked a really cool trailer here. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things I want you to take into consideration. For your lot, look to make sure that your awning has room, your slide has room, and your outdoor kitchen down there can all open up. Also, on your off camp side, your slides over here, make sure you have plenty of room for these to open up, nothing impeding them opening or closing, preferably nothing hanging closely on top of them. And I also want you to think about where your power and water hookups are. And on your unit, everything's at the rear. Your power's on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, all the way at the rear. Then your docking station is right here on the back of your unit. So park accordingly so that you can better utilize the facilities. Once you've arrived, we'll unhook the hitch. Hitch man's going to go over that with you. Now we're going to stabilize the unit. The idea of this ball stabilizing system is really cool. All you do is hit that power button, hold it for a couple seconds, everything will light up. So before I run your stabilizing jacks down, first thing we're going to do is level the unit. You're going to hold tongue jack, we're going to say extend, we want it to go up. Lift it up, or hit retract, tongue jack to bring it down. Get your unit level. I do recommend getting a level and sticking around the middle of your unit. Your entryway doorway is about the middle of your unit, so you can stick a level right inside there, or stick one on your off camp side of the middle of the unit to look at. Make sure your unit level. Once you have your unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. You hit stabilizing jacks. It's going to run them all down, or extend them. All stabilizing jacks. Now before I run these down, what I do want to recommend are jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, blacktop. In the summer it can get hot. Helps distribute the weight better because it gives you a little bigger landing pad, and it's going to help keep it from sinking, especially on a big unit like this. So grab some stabilizing jack pads from our store, and when you run these down, put them down underneath them. Now remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. So you're only want to run them down until your unit is stable. Here's a manual override. You have a hand crank if you want to run them down by hand if you lose power. So I'll run them down real quick. All stabilizing jacks are on extend. You can see them coming down there. Running down the front and the back. As soon as you feel everything's taut, go ahead and release the button. I'm going to go all the way to the rear and show you where they came down back here. And there's your rear stabilizing jacks. Those could come down just a little bit further because you see the pads up a little bit. Or you can actually just manually push that pad down. Now once you got your unit level and stable, next thing we're going to do Let's hook up our water and electricity. Start with your power. You have this 50 amp cord. I'll show you how this goes on real quick. So you go in, there's a groove there, twist to the right, and then put on your gray washer. 50 amp service. At the end of your 50 amp service, you need to plug into 30 amp. You have this dog bone with 50 amp to 30 amp service. And should you need to plug in at home or somewhere with 110, you have this 30 to 110 adapter to go on here. Just remember, when running off 110, you don't want to run both AC units. Got our power hooked up. Now let's hook up our water. Your docking stations at the rear of your unit. City Water Connect and Fresh Water Connect. First and foremost, we're at the park, we're hooking up City Water Connect. Hook up your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines inside your unit. You always want to use this whenever putting water inside your unit. Hook up your City Water Connect, water pressure regulator, and your hose, but don't turn your water on yet. We're going to go ahead and find your hot water heater. So coming from back here so you can see where it's at, your hot water heater is on your campsite. It'll look like this closed. Inside, all we're going to do at this point was just going to make sure our drain plug's back in. 1/8" socket. You turn your drain plug. You may have left it out from last time you were camping, draining your hot water heater. So we turn your drain plug, then you can turn on your hose. Once your hose has been on for a little while, you're going to come up here to this pressure release valve. You're going to pull on that and it's going to release air out. Once your unit hot water heater is full of water, a steady flow of water is going to come out here. Don't worry about harming any of these down here. That's what it's made for. Once a steady flow of water is coming out, you know your hot water heater is full and you can light it from inside. Now coming back around the rear, let's say you're going dry docking and you're not going to have city water hook up. You're going to hook up to fresh water or potable water tank. Same thing, use your water pressure regulator, hook it up, make sure your hot water heater is closed, then you can fill your tank. Same thing, bleed your hot water heater. Once it's full, you know it can be turned on from inside. However, when you're using fresh water, that's when you're going to turn on your water pump inside. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we got our water and electricity hooked up. I'm going to walk around the unit, show you a few other things. Black tank flush. That's used when dumping our tanks. We'll talk about that later. You have this long hose here with a spray for this spray port here. Down here in the corner is your cable and satellite hookups. And you do have 110 out here. Night docking light. The back of your unit is also prepped for a Furion backup camera. Should you decide to purchase the piece that goes on the dash of your vehicle, electronically communicates with this, giving you a backup camera for the unit. Here's your ladder. Go up and check your seams, caulk as needed. Keep your roof nice and safe. Do want to mention you got a lot of slides on this unit, and on these wipers you want them to stay flexible. So they have what's called a wiper fluid in our store. You apply it to this, make sure those stay flexible and go in and out easy. Go around your off campsite. You have 2 dump stations on this unit. So back here you have a couple of grays for the back bathroom. A fresh water tank drain right there. Pull that when you're leaving the campsite. And up here, your black and gray holding tank for the front bathroom. There's your dump station. Here's your huge pass-through storage, or not pass-through, but huge slide storage. This is your manual crank for your stabilizing jacks. This is a docking light. Let's talk about your batteries. Check your battery post now and then. Make sure the terminals are nice and tight. Your propane. On the front of your propane is a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank that you wish to be using. One more thing on your stabilizing system. You do have a manual override here for a jack that goes in there for Your tongue jack. There's the cover for your propane. Over on your on your campsite, you have solar on the side. Should you decide to purchase a solar panel, you can hook it up right there and it'll trickle charge your batteries. 110 on the outside. Your hot water heater. Here's a lip for a grill table. Your quick connect propane. Right to the right of your doorway is your low point drain. We'll dump those when leaving the campsite. Your solid steps. We'll talk about how to close those up. Over here, this is a vent for your microwave. And access to the back of your fridge. Coming over to your outdoor kitchen, to the right of that is your furnace heat release. So if you're running your furnace, you clear this, it'll get rather warm. There's a hole for a manual override for your slides. Now in your kitchen here, you have this cutting board, your griddle. Push both of these down at the same time to bring this out. I'll show you quickly how to hook that up. Down underneath here. So this propane is already hooked up. All you have to do is lift this, which keeps this from sliding in, and that turns on your propane. There's where you light it. This hose here is for that quick connect up front. Push down on these. Bring it back in. Little sink. Back behind the fridge area is some storage and your cable hookups. Excuse me, behind the television bracket. And we're back to the docking station. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look on the inside. I did miss this little storage compartment up here on your off-camp side in the front. The reason I want to mention that is this is where your battery disconnect is. It'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide detector. Now let's go look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside your unit. First and foremost, to the right here, I want you and everyone that's camping with you to know where the fire extinguisher is in case of emergency. It's going to be by the entry door. Just to the left of that is an access panel, a few fuses and breaker box. Looks like you got mostly 15s. I highly recommend you grab a handful of those from our store. Remember, we do have a 10% off coupon to use in our store. Any of the items I've mentioned you might want to pick up. Before going up to the control panel around the left here below your fireplace, this is your 12 volt carbon monoxide detector. The reason I mention this 12 volt is it's always running off your battery. So if you're going to be gone for the day and you're dry docking and there's nothing charging your batteries, go ahead and use that battery disconnect and shut off the battery. It's going to shut off the battery power to the unit and keep this from running your battery down. Back over here, inside your door here is your access panel. These are your outdoor lights, porch, flood, etc. Here's where you turn on your hot water heater if you're hooked up to gas. Here's where you turn it on if you're hooked up to electric. And if you're using the potable water, that's where you turn on your water pump. This is where you check your 2 black tanks. Here's where you check all of your tanks. Your battery new, all the other tanks are being emptied. Here's where you run your slides in and out. Simple in or out process. Just make sure everything is clear when running them in or out. Nothing's going to impede the slide. Let me show you real quick your awning. You have the Carefree Awning. It's out right now. All you simply do when you have this on is hit retract, touch the button one time, and the whole thing is going to run in for you. Automatically runs itself all the way in for you. Stops on its own. Come back to it, hit extend, and it'll run out on its own. Above that you just have closet space. Around here, your fireplace. Close this front door. Show your awning real quick, running itself out. You don't have to worry about stopping at a certain point. It's automatically going to drop your flap, show your lighting, and stop on its own. Talk about your fireplace. They're not just for looks anymore. Yeah, you can come up here and change the different levels of the flames. But if you come here and turn on your heat. Now, if you're plugged into electricity somewhere, instead of using your gas to warm it up in here, this will get it rather warm in here, so just turn on your heat. I'm going to shut it off. You can change the flames here. Up here is your RV technology sound system. You can play your music indoors, outdoors, or both. Volume control here, Bluetooth, get that, AM, FM, auxiliary, USB ports. Television does have a safety strap for travel. Speakers coming around the rest of the inside of your unit here. On your island, you have a 110 here. Your heat exhaust. More heat ducts. Your all-electric fridge. Self-explanatory microwave. You have light and fan. On your stove here, this glass top makes a beautiful backsplash. You have a panel light. You simply turn to light, hit your spark. When your gas is turned on, you'll get flames. Here's your controls for your sound system, fireplace, and television. All of your things you need to know about the RV inside. This is a safety strap for closing your, put around the handles of your fridge when traveling. I have two of these tables here. Try to quickly show you how to hook those up. So all it simply is a top. Turn this to the left. Let me show you on the end of this. So you're going to grab this, turn it all the way to the left. This is going to slide into a slot, and as you tighten it, it'll turn. Slide down inside there. Once you have it in there, turn to the right. That tightens up, and it sits back on top. Now these store underneath here. Couldn't see that. I'll show you on this end. Store the tables underneath here. Remove this, turn it to the left. We'll store it in down here. Meantime, I'm going to show you how to set up this sofa into a bed. Hope I have a good enough angle there. Remove the Velcro cushions on the back. Grab your handles, lift up, pull it toward you, and lay your cushions back. And there's your bed. Speaking of beds, let's go back to your bunk room. Here on the wall is your thermostat. Simply turn on the mode from off to an auto fan to air conditioning. Use this to set the temperature as desired. To heat, same thing. To heat pump, to off. Coming into your bunk room here. Give your upper bunk. Again, just remove these legs, set that table down on these lips here. Move these back cushions, put them in the middle, and that becomes a bed. And you see it, this top bunk. Locks in here on both ends. And there's a 250-pound capacity on that top bunk. Here's your lighting from in here. Go back into your bathroom. Do want to mention you do have plumbing to keep an eye on there and under your sink as well. Back here is where your 110 with GFCI reset protection is. Lighting and exhaust fan, which you can hand crank open. Come back into the bedroom. Emergency escape window. This is all prepped for a washer and dryer. You have storage under your bed as well. And that is where your Flame King RV grill that connects outside on that lip that I showed you, and using that quick connect that's in the outside storage. You also have your own thermostat back here. Lighting for in here. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close everything up. I want to share real quick on how to close these doors securely. First off, make sure your exterior door is all the way open so that this doesn't catch on it. Lift it up, softly set it in, turn this handle to the right or left and it'll lock itself in. Close your exterior door, lift and turn your handle, lock and deadbolt your door. You don't want the horror story of your door coming open while you're traveling, so deadbolt your exterior door. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to pull this low point drain. You're going to empty both of those. You can do this at the campsite. It's clean water. You're going to go around to the other side. If you're using potable water, over here on your off-camp side, your slides are still out. They would be closed. It'd be easier access. They're still prepping your unit. You pull that gray handle, which will be right where this says fresh water tank drain. So we have used potable water. You drain both of those. And then come around to your hot water heater. And you can pull your drain plug. Start by bleeding your lines, then pull your drain plug. That's all the drains you have to pull. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come back here to your B&L again, turn it on, retract, all stabilizing jacks. So all of them should come up rather quickly and stop on their own. Just that quickly they're all up. And your power tongue jack, you do the same thing here. You tuck your tractor extend here as you need to put it back on. Now we're going to head up to the dump station. Get 2 dumps on this. I highly recommend getting a bigger sewage hose. We got bigger, longer, stronger ones with T's and Y's on them, and you can dump both of your things without having to move your trailer. Hook up to your front one. First thing you're going to pull is your black holding tank. That black handle right there, you're going to pull that and you're going to listen for it to sound like it's no longer running. Once it sounds like it's no longer dumping, you're going to head back to your dump station.